see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah, I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay, hey, yeah, ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the boy.
Yo, yo, yo. All right. All right. Let me have this one. It's my birthday. Let me have it. I made a complete mistake, ladies and gentlemen. That's on me. I 110%. This wasn't Big Brother Michael Bidwell. No, this was on me, my stupidity. If you're just joining in and you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, we were live for about like 10 minutes. Solid, a great stream. And guess what I did? I pushed the wrong darn button on my soundboard and I completely ended the stream. Wow, goodness gracious, I'm an idiot. I am so freaking sorry, guys. I was going on some sort of tangent, and here we go. Let's start over, shall we? Yo, yo, yo! What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got Martin, we got Cards Fan, Trash Boat, Aaliyah, John, Lorenzo. What's up, y'all? Appreciate you guys for being here. I'm so sorry, but yes, we do have some breaking news that we want to talk about today. We did get some news a little earlier on today from Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter. That's going to be a direct. It's going to affect the NFC West in a nutshell, right? It's going to affect the NFC West. Let's get to the Cardinals news first, and then we'll dive into the breaking news. Now, for the most part, if everybody that was on the stream already, they probably already know what it was, but I still want to talk about it, right? Because there's a lot of implications that can potentially, have the Cardinals be division winners, right? And we got to dissect this as much as we possibly can. So let's talk some Cardinals first, and I'm not going to push the wrong button this time, I promise. Here we go. All right, so we got Jonathan Gannon earlier this morning coming out and saying that the injury report for Joey Blount and Cody Simon, both of them still on the concussion protocol. That is still the latest update right now. We do not know if they're going to be held out in multiple other games, but this is a impact for one specific player, Joey Blount. Joey Blount's a massive special teams player for the Arizona Cardinals. He's got the captain patch on him, and rightfully so. He's been a really good special team player for us for a very long time. They were both hurt on the exact same play. When I was breaking down or looking at the All-22 film, I really wish I focused on and try to find this specific play. I didn't. And I kind of want to kick myself in the butt to kind of really figure out exactly what happened in this play, because I saw Joey Blount go down, and then when the camera panned, there was the other player that went down, and that was Cody Simon. They both did not finish the game. Concussion protocol is what both of those injury designations are, and as of right now, they are still listed as that concussion protocol, at least per Jonathan Gannon, right? So happy Victory Monday. Another be careful. Okay, here we go. All right, so Victory Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Victory Monday for everybody here in the chat. Do me a huge favor, ladies and gentlemen. Smack the like button. Right now, we got over 80 people here on the YouTube side. Over 80 people here on the YouTube side. If you're asking yourself, why the heck are we live at 4 o'clock? Aren't you usually live at 10 a.m., Mike? Yes, I am. I'm usually live at 10 a.m. You are 110% correct. I'm live right now because we got some breaking news dropping in the world of the NFL that's going to have a direct correlation to potentially affect who's going to win the NFC West when it comes down to the end of the season, right? Now, it's only going to probably affect the beginning part of the season, but this is definitely something that we're going to have to obviously know. Now, huge shout out here to Sleeper, sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. More on them a little later on, but if you use promo code AZSF on your first deposit, they will provide you with a 100% deposit match up to $100 on your initial deposit. Check out Sleeper. Everything will be on the description below. But ladies and gentlemen, just for the one time, let's ring the bell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news in the world of the NFL. And if you were on the other stream that we were live on and we completely messed up, Appreciate you guys for being here again and re-tapping in. But here is the breaking news that I really wanted to go ahead and dive into. Ian Rappaport dropped this bombshell earlier today. Since we took this screenshot, it's probably been about 40 minutes since this news has dropped. Now, he originally posted this Brock Purdy picture one at the bottom, right? He says 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy suffered a left shoulder injury and a toe injury in Sunday's win. Coach Kyle Shanahan said that the toe is worse than the shoulder, and his status will be determined later on in the week. Now, if you guys do not know, the 49ers will be playing the Saints this weekend. So the Saints, like we talked about before, are going through a tour of the NFC West. They had the Cardinals, they got the 49ers, and then after that, they got the Seattle Seahawks right after. So they're going to go through the ringer. They potentially can start off 0-3, right? But it really depends. Are they going to have Purdy? Are they going to have George Kittle? Are they going to have Jawan Jennings? Well, here's a George Kittle answer. Ian Rappaport retweeted this, and he said, in addition, tight end George Kittle is out multiple weeks with a hamstring injury, while the team is doing a CT scan on Jawan Jennings to make sure his shoulder is okay. Now, if you guys did not watch the game, right, and I'm talking about 49ers versus Seahawks, George Kittle didn't finish the game. He did not finish the game versus the Seattle Seahawks. He was ruled out, and so was Jawan Jennings. He was also not out there as well. Now, the 49ers did make a roster move earlier today. I think they ended up bringing in, was it Kendrick Bourne, right? Is that who it was? Kendrick Bourne? I think that's his name. Let me just double check. Yes, 7 hours ago, it was reported by Adam Schefter that Kendrick Bourne is returning home to San Francisco on a 1-year deal with a max value of $5 million per his agent. So this is a team that's consistently making moves because guess what? The injury bug has now attacked the 49ers. Now, this isn't new. They've been dealing with the injury bug so probably for 1+ years already. Like, they've been dealing with the injury bug all last year as well. I feel like every other week they were dealing with some sort of injury, and it's continued to happen again, right? George Kittle, right? Per this report that we ended up seeing, he's going to be missing, 3 weeks? It says multiple weeks here, but I think the last report that I saw is that he's going to probably be missing like 3 or 4 weeks. Let me find a screenshot of that one here. I know it was reported. Yep. George Kittle will be out a few weeks per Kyle Shanahan. Well, guess what a few weeks means? That kind of puts you somewhere along the lines of maybe 3 or 4 weeks, right? If he's out for 3 or 4 weeks, the Cardinals play the 49ers in week 3. So we can be living in a world that the Arizona Cardinals are going to be playing a 49er team that has no Jawan Jennings, and now we know is not going to have a Kittle. So this is going to be very, very interesting, right? All this news dropping from the 49ers is unfortunate for them, right? And I'm not coming on here to try to celebrate injuries. No, that's not what I do, right? I don't celebrate injuries. I never wished injuries on anybody at all. If there was one way I would like to win, I would like to win fair, but obviously nobody can predict injuries, right? This is massive news. Absolutely massive news for the Arizona Cardinals and the NFC West. The 49ers have a very easy paved road, right? I think we mentioned this before. They got the easiest schedule on paper, the 49ers do. The Cardinals have a pretty easy first half, and in the second half, it does get a little bit more tougher with like the gauntlet style. So yeah, this is big. This is really, really big. Let's take it to the comments. Get Closer to God says, I like the sound of that. I mean, let's be real. George Kittle is one of their best offensive weapons, their best pass catchers. And even at the age that he is, he's still a very effective player. If they don't have George Kittle, which actually they're not going to have George Kittle. Let me rephrase what I just said. They're not going to have George Kittle because of them already saying several weeks. That tells me 3, 4, 5 weeks is probably what he's going to be dealing with. A hamstring injury, you don't want to force him out there too quick, right? Because that can very well get, turn on them really, really quickly, right? But this is big news. This is really, really big news for the 49ers. Really big news for the 49ers. Malls in the chat says, ugh, I hate to hear that with Purdy. Yup. The 49ers curse lives on. It does feel like there's some sort of curse on that team. It really does. It really does. It's not just Kittle. It's not just Jawan Jennings that's up in the air right now. It's the potential quarterback that they could be missing, which is Brock Purdy. And who is their backup quarterback right now? Who is their backup quarterback? The backup quarterback to the 49ers is Mac Jones. Oh, watch out now. Mac Jones is their backup quarterback. Now, do I think Brock Purdy will start week 2? Well, right now it's up in the air, right? If I were to have to give my best guesstimation, I would say he would start, right? He would start. But let's be real. An offense that doesn't have a George Kittle, which we already know is going to miss several weeks, is what the latest report that came out. It's a big deal. Now, we don't know what Jawan Jennings is going to be holding, right? Are we going to be living in a world that Jawan Jennings is also going to miss a few weeks? Because they just brought in Kendrick Bourne. If they just brought in Kendrick Bourne, they might know something a little bit more that they don't want to tell quite yet. So they just signed Kendrick Bourne earlier. So they're going to be rolling with Bourne, Ricky Pearsall, and MVS, Marquise Valdes-Scantling. I don't know if that's going to win them as much games as they thought they were going to be, right? The backup tight end that we're going to be dealing with is Luke Farrell. Don't really know him too much. Don't want to disrespect him, right? I believe he was a 5th round pick in 2021 to Jacksonville. In this last game, he had 1 reception, 4 yards. So there's that. This is going to be very, very fascinating to see, keeping your eyes on all these injuries that the 49ers are going through right now. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. Cards fan in the chat says, Michael Wilson, a bit distracted at the moment with his week-old daughter. Oh, did he just have a kid? Congratulations. Didn't know that. Jet Robinson in the chat. Could we be living in a world where Purdy, Jennings, and Kittle all don't play week 3? Maybe. I can see a world where the 49ers look at the Saints and say, we should win that game, right? I can see a world where they look at the Saints and saying, we should win that game, we'll sit them. Now, will they? I don't know. The Saints look pretty good in my opinion. I don't know if that's just because the Cardinals, but the Saints look a hell of a lot better than I thought they were going to. Primarily that defensive line, right? They look pretty darn solid. Now, I'm not sure if that's attributed to our offensive line or not. We'll find out as the season goes on. But that Saints team looked a lot better than I thought they were going to. Really good game plan against us. Really good game plan. And let's be real. That game could have gone to overtime if the tight end held that ball. That game, week 1, could have gone into overtime if their tight end held onto the ball. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Absolutely. It's a possibility. Niners are nothing without Kittle. I mean, right now he's their best pass-catching weapon. I mean, some can argue McCaffrey, right? McCaffrey's still there. As far as we know, right? As far as we know, McCaffrey is healthy still, right? At least he's got no designation right now. He's still healthy, right? He mounted to, 69 yards on the ground, 22 carries, average about 3.1 yards a carry. Receiving, he caught 1 ball for 9 yards. Wait, no, that's not right. I apologize. He caught 9 balls. No. He had 9 receptions, 73 yards. So he was very heavily used in the run game and pass game as well. So let me clarify. Running the ball for McCaffrey this last game, 22 carries, 69 yards. For the receiving game, he had 9 receptions, 73 yards. Sorry, I know that was a little confusing. I confused myself. But there was also the question mark around Christian McCaffrey as well. Is he going to be able to stay healthy? I mean, there was a lot of people that didn't think he was going to be able to play week 1, right? A lot of fantasy football owners that were really, really worried. Really, really worried. So this is something where we got to keep our eyes on. We got to keep our eyes on. Get closer to God in the chat says the Saints became the new Commanders. That's what we said up at the command by Washington and lost. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Now, keep in mind that Commanders game, we got blown out. We got blown out. Now, I'm not going to come out here and say, "Oh man, the Cardinals, right? All we need to do is take on the Panthers and we could potentially be 3-0." No, I'm not going to talk like that anymore, right? I think we learned our lesson last year. You know what I mean? We learned our lesson last year. And that's including myself. That's on me. Right? I learned my lesson last year. Any given Sunday, you never know. You got to make sure that you come into every single one of these games ready to play. This Panthers game is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And why I say that? Because every single year we play the Panthers, they somehow beat us. It doesn't matter if it's Bryce Young. It doesn't matter if it's freaking, what's his name? Cam Newton off the street. It doesn't matter. They somehow always find a way to beat us. It frustrates the living heck out of me. But it happens. So this is going to be a tough game. The Cardinals got the Panthers this week. And I already got the preview all set, ready to go. I already got the behind the enemy lines. I'm going to have pre-recorded and ready for you guys to kind of get a deeper look of what this team can provide to you, right? But let's be real. Oh, 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, good God. Breaking news. Nothing for the Cardinals. Nothing for the Cardinals, but breaking news. How does this not piss you off? Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. Let me ring the bell. How does the NFL continue to allow this to happen? How? Can somebody explain this to me? I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but this just dropped probably about 2 minutes ago. The Eagles are at it again, trading for Jaguars running back Tank Bigsby. Good God. How do they do this this is a good player, man. This is a very good player. He was stuck behind ETN. They just drafted another running back, and now they're trading for another player. Good God. I'm curious to figure out what was the compensation. I'm curious to figure out what's the what? How do they get? How do we allow this? I mean, this could be a player that could back up Saquon. This can definitely be a player that can back up Saquon Barkley. I don't know how we allow this every single. I don't get it. I do not get it one bit. Let's see what happens though. All right. Continue to talk about the NFC West and Victory Monday. Let me ask you guys this real quick. We got over 100 people here on the YouTube side. Over 100 people on the YouTube side. Do me a huge favor, YouTube family. Smack the like button. Smack the like button. Right now, we're sitting with 31 likes with over 100 of you guys here on the stream. Smack the like button, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give some love on over to the chat. Make sure you get highlighted here, but do me a favor, smack the like button. Let's see if we can hit 50 likes before we end this stream. Now, we do got Monday Night Football a little later on today. Hopefully, we can bleed right into it and you guys don't have to wait very much, right? Cards fan in the chat says, man, that Jaguars franchise is just ... I agree. 100% agree. 100% agree. Salty, happy birthday, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely appreciate you guys. Thank you. Yes, I mentioned this before. I had this whole debacle on my very first stream, and I ended it just being a dummy. You won't catch the evidence anymore. I erased the evidence. So if you weren't in that first stream, you don't know. And I didn't say it on this one, but for my guy Salty to come in here and provide a $10 donation, thank you. Absolutely appreciate it. Yes, it's my birthday today. I did not go live in the morning. I was doing some family things, and I had a lunch with a friend that I haven't seen in a very long time. But I did release a video, right? I did work on my birthday. I just didn't go live in the morning like I usually do. So, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, happy birthday to me. I'm old. I'm old. We ain't gonna talk about that yet, but yeah, appreciate you. Thank you, Salty. Thank you. Absolutely appreciate it. Let's keep it with the chat. Um, Jay River says, "Are we live right now?" We are. We are. I know. Crazy, right? You're never live this. I know. We're never live. We're never live this late. I know. I know. I know. Biggest reason why we are live right now is because the news that we just heard from Ian Rappaport. Ian Rappaport came out and said that Kittle's going to miss several weeks. Kittle's going to miss several weeks. That affects our game in week 3. We got the 49ers in week 3. So no Kittle in week 3. And then Brock Purdy is dealing with the shoulder and toe injury after the Seahawks game. So maybe no Purdy in week 2. I don't know. We'll see. Jawan Jennings didn't finish last game either. He's going through a CT scan right now. It doesn't sound like Jawan Jennings is good. They just signed Kendrick Bourne, another wide receiver. So they're going through it right now. They're going through it. So Salty, thank you so very much for the thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. We did hit the 50 like goal. Let's go. Let's do it for the one time. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for the super chat and the love. Everybody for smacking the like button. We did it. Thank you. DJ in the chat with another one. DJ says, I was at the game and the stadium was louder than I expected. Not giving an excuse, but the atmosphere was definitely a factor. You know, this is something that we've actually talked about on our preview as well. And I heard a lot of people mention it the same way. It doesn't matter that these Saints are favored to only win 5-6 games. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. Because that fan base in week 1, they're going to bring it. They're going to bring the intensity. They're going to bring the juice. They're going to bring that. Because guess why? They have the exact same optimism that we do. It's week 1. Anything can happen any given Sunday, right? So you're right. I'm glad you actually mentioned this, DJ, because that fan base, they were ready for a football game. It's been forever since football has been on Sundays. They're going to come here and celebrate, and they're going to get loud. I think the Saints were a lot better than we anticipated. I'm going to be real. I think the Saints were a lot better than we anticipated them to be, if I'm going to be real. I don't think the Cardinals scouted the fact that Spencer Rattler was going to be a mobile quarterback, which although we mentioned it, right? We mentioned it in our preview. He can run out of the pocket. He's not listed as a mobile quarterback, but he's got some wheels. He's got some legs that can help him, right? But or hear Jonathan Gannon say that wasn't a scouted part. So that's probably why he took off and ran a couple times. But their game plan was pretty flawless. I'm going to be real. Their game plan was pretty flawless. We were literally split seconds away to potentially getting 3 or 4 sacks in that game. Josh Sweat was so close. Birch was close. We were close in multiple different things. It just unfortunately didn't happen. Moles, what's up, Moles? Happy birthday, brother. Thank you for all. No, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so very much, everybody. Thank you. Yes, today is my birthday. I'm not going to mention the age. I'm up there. I'm up there. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so very much. We got some other some happy birthday wishes. Thank you, everybody. Jay Rivers, I see you up there as well. Yes, happy Victory Monday, aka also my birthday. Alexis, I see you up there as well. Thank you so very much. You're not old. I'm not an old man, but back hurts every day I wake up. Just kidding. That's just probably because my daughter. That's probably because my daughter. Yeah. All right, y'all. Appreciate you. Let's keep this going. If you guys do not know, more breaking news just dropped probably about 7 minutes ago. And it seems like Take Bigsby, running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars, is now on his way to Philadelphia in exchange for a 2026 5th and 6th round pick per sources. So Tank Bigsby goes from Jacksonville to Philly for a 5th and a 6th round pick in 2026. One thing I will say is that general manager doesn't sleep. He's always making some moves, man. He's always making some moves. It doesn't matter. He's always doing something. Always. Bigsby is a good running back. He really is. I'm not sure what the usage and what they're going to do, but That's a good running back. Great way to wake up. Yeah, 100%. Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. We should all be celebrating a win. This is the first time we've had a win in week 1 since 2021. This is the first time we had a win in week 1 since 2021. So let's bask in the glory. Let's bask in the glory. It was an ugly win, but we'll take it, right? Just like Calais Campbell's. A dub's a dub, right? Dub's a dub. We'll take it. Kyler Murray came out and said that, there were some plays that could have been, that was left out on there and he could have been better. But hey, a win's a win, right? Now, I know there's some people that are not happy with this win. I mean, I'm not saying be happy, but I'm also not saying accept it. You know what I mean? But we'll take the W, right? We'll take the W. One thing I did want to know, I'm not sure if you guys knew this. One second. I'm not sure if you guys knew this. So Kyler Murray in week 1 was 12 of 16, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns. Pretty good, right? Pretty good. Do you know what Kyler Murray did in the second half? Do y'all know what Kyler Murray did in the second half? And I don't think this is just Kyler Murray. I think that this offense let up. I'm going to be real. I think the offense as a whole let up. So in the first half, Kyler Murray's numbers was 12 of 16, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns. In the second half, Kyler Murray was 9 for 13, 38 yards. Yeesh. All right. This whole age guessing game is done. It's done. It's done. This whole age guessing game is done, ladies and gentlemen. It's done. Appreciate you guys for being here in the chat. Let's keep it going here. We got Adrian in the chat saying the D-line needs to do better. Agree. Ding, 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 ding. Agree. Josh Sweat didn't really do very much. And I saw a few plays from Darius Robinson. I'm not going to call him a bust. Nah, I ain't going to call him a bust. But I'm going to be real here, ladies and gentlemen. Darius Robinson needs to be a little bit more. He needs to be more physical. He needs to be better. We were sold that Darius Robinson was going to be this big Terminator breaking through some offensive lines, right? Added a lot of muscle on himself. And it might just take next week or the following week, but I still haven't really seen a big explosive game from Darius Robinson. So defensive line needs to do better. Agree. Ding, 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 ding. You're right. We can all have this year because of Rather is putting up these kinds of stats. Imagine what a decent offense can do. I mean, well, unfortunately, we were giving the ball right back over to them, right? For them to do. I mean, Rather and the Saints, they had a good game plan against us. Like, you got to give them credit. You got to give credit to where credit is due. They had a really good game plan against us. Get rid of the ball quick. Step up. Quick hook routes. They had a really good game plan. If nothing's there, use your legs. Run out of the pocket. They had a really good game plan against us. Unfortunately. Well, I mean, fortunately, not unfortunately, the Cardinals came out with the W. But that game was really close to going overtime. That game was close to going overtime. Sheesh. Goodness gracious. I will not. I mean, one of you guys were close. I'll put it that way. I'll put it. One of you guys were close on the chat. It definitely is not the 20s. That's for sure. Definitely not the 20s. I hope Walter Nolan is not a bust. I don't think Darius Robinson's a bust. I think he just needs to be better, man. I think he just needs to be better. Like, I was really hoping a lot from Darius Robinson. Now, are we putting too much expectations in week 1? Maybe, right? Maybe week 2, he'll go completely off. But because they were going through so many injuries, I was talking about the Saints offensive line. I was really hoping that this defensive line was going to eat. They didn't. Quite the opposite. Their defensive line ate. Kyler Murray was on the ground 5 times, while Baron Browning got himself 1 sack, and that's really all that it amounted to. But yeah, for the new people that are just joining in and asking in the chat, what's happening? What's the news? What's the news? All right, let's do it real quick. Real quick. Adam Schefter. Nope, that's not the news. I apologize. Here we go. Adam Schefter dropped, Ian Rappaport, but Adam Schefter did confirm. So Ian Rappaport did come out and saying that Brock Purdy suffered a shoulder injury and a toe injury, and that the toe injury is a lot worse than the shoulder injury, but he's going through evaluation to see what's going to happen this coming week. And then you got George Kittle out for several weeks, which tells me 3, 4, 5 weeks for Kittle. That's going to affect the Cardinals because we play them in week 3. So there's going to be no Kittle for the 49ers. And guess what? Jawan Jennings did not finish yesterday's game. That shoulder injury that he ended up getting, it might be bad. Because right now, I believe he's going through a CT scan today. They're going to find out a little bit more, but they just made a new acquisition earlier today. The 49ers just signed Kendrick Bourne. So that tells me you just signed Kendrick Bourne. You guys are probably trying to get the next guy in here to give him some sort of reps. I don't think it looks good for Jawan. I could be wrong, but this is the big news. Mafia in the chat says Brock Purdy. Yikes. Saints might just be the team this. I mean, let's go Saints, right? Saints versus 49ers. Go Saints. Go Saints. Fraud Purdy can be out too. Maybe. Yeah, there is a real possibility, right? When you read between the lines here, you have a shoulder and a toe injury, and the toe injury is worse than the shoulder, but it's still TBD. He could potentially miss week 3 too. And guess what? You got the Mac Jones show, because that's their backup quarterback right now. The Mac Jones show. This is going to be very, very fascinating to see what happens here with the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I'm not going to try to get caught slipping, right? We've been through that before, right? We got to take care of business. Week 2, Panthers. That's what we're going to be focusing on moving forward. Panthers starts tomorrow. That's when the preview comes out. We're going to have a brand new preview tomorrow, Cardinals versus Panthers. We're going to have a behind the enemy lines where we actually have somebody that covers the Panthers, kind of giving us a little bit of tidbits and insight of what they feel like the game plan is going to be. But let's be real. The Panthers has always had our number. It doesn't matter if it's, it doesn't matter if it's Bryce Young. It doesn't matter if it's Cam Newton off the street. They always seem to have our number. So we're going to have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out. Let's read a couple more comments. We will be closing up shop here soon. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Everybody that's in. We got over 80 people here on a random 5 p.m. Thank you, guys. Smack the like button here on your way out and subscribe if this is your first time here. Appreciate you. Juan in the chat says Lions play horribly. Yeah, they didn't look so good against Green Bay. They might not be a team that's going to be in the playoffs. We'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. Glass Kittle is injured again. Yep. I mean, he's getting older, man. He's getting older. I don't blame him. No, it's not that I don't blame him to get injured. I mean, it's just what happens when you get older, right? Father time beats everybody except for Tom Brady. Luck in the chat says, bro, that Ravens and Bills game last night was so fire. 100%. It really, really kind of got everybody juiced up to say to themselves, man, that's a quarterback right there. Josh Allen is most likely going to be the MVP of this season. This guy looks dynamite, man. Dynamite. Josh Allen is in another world, man. He plays in another level. It's crazy. You think Stroud is a one? He doesn't look good, man. I was really hoping a lot more from Stroud, if I'm going to be real with you. I was hoping that he was going to give the Texans or the Rams around for their money. The defense showed up. The offense was MIA, with the exception of their kicker. So I don't know, man. I don't know. We're going to have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out. But if they are a one, I mean, we got the Texans later on. It would only benefit the Cardinals later on. So Jameson in the chat says, not Kyler MVP. I had to do it to you, Jameson. All right. Yo, let's close up shop right here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Yes, breaking news dropped. If you did not and you're just joining in right now, rewatch this video and I'll give you the details on what's going on and why it directly affects the Cardinals. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you guys for being here. Smack the like button on your way out. Subscribe if this is your first time here. Appreciate you all for being here. Absolutely. You guys are all amazing. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cardinals. And happy Victory Monday. Actually, one weird thing real quick, I completely forgot to do it. Let me give a shout out here to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Sleeper. Here we go. If you're looking for a place to have fun, Sleeper is the place to go, man. You can do all sorts of things on here, fantasy football leagues, real-time, bets, all these different type of things you can go ahead and do here on Sleeper. You can go ahead and make the perfect roster and potentially get yourself 100 times your money. Using promo code AZSF gets you 100% deposit match up to $100 on your first initial deposit. Sleeper is the game to play. Really, really fun. I got myself on a fantasy football league in Sleeper and kind of look at it every single day. So make sure you check out Sleeper. Everything will be in the description below of this video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you everybody for tuning in. Juan, yeah, you had to. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. As always, good night and see you tomorrow. Go Cards.